Try to stay calm, Darnell. Try to stay collected. Everybody knows you as cool, pretty chill, relaxed. Don't get too excited. Fuck that! I want my invite!
I want my damn invite! My first ever invite! I'm going to Nats, baby!
Man, what's up everybody? If you're new to the channel, my name is Darnell. I'm the creative director of Bemani Lounge. Bemani Lounge is a community of Yu-Gi-Oh players that just love to play the game and talk shop and travel to events together and join tournaments and all that jazz. Everything in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, we got it here. So for today's video, what I actually want to do is touch on me, myself, Darnell, creative director of Bemani Lounge. Hi, how are you? So this past weekend, I actually attended the Connecticut regional and I actually managed to get my first ever invite to nationals at this regional. Yes, your boy came in 39th place. I know it's not top 32, I'm working on it, but it was a cut to top 48 for your invite and I got my first invite ever, and I mean ever. Like, I came back to this game about a year and a half ago after being away for 15 years. 15 years I was away from this game, and I came back, I fumbled, and I might do a whole video about this whole story. Fast forward a little bit, I picked up the deck that I took to Connecticut and won my invite with, and that deck is Altergeist. And I've been playing it for a while. I guess everything just kind of aligned for me to finally get my invite, because if you've been paying attention to the content on our channel, you know that I was at Nats last year, but I did not have the invite to actually compete in the main event, so I did all the side events, and you know, I made some dope ass content for Bemani Lounge, as I always do. But this was my first ever like invite, and I'm just super pumped and ecstatic about it. You know, it means a lot to me. I was happy to share in that excitement with some of my friends from the lounge that were there to actually witness when they put the names up on the board and actually see that my name was on there within top cut. So that was great to see. What I want to do today is actually cover the deck that I used in that regional, and that's Altergeist. I just want to get into a quick Altergeist deck profile for you guys and let you know like what my matchups were, what changes I would make to the deck, how the deck performed overall. Let's be honest, we all know Altergeist is just really good right now, so the stars have aligned for your boy. I hope I have more tops in my future, and yeah, I hope to do well in that. So I'm definitely going as a player, so let's swing on over to my office over here and let's take a look at the deck that I used. So if you've been paying attention to any of the content on our channel, you know that I uploaded an Altergeist deck profile video not too long ago. It wasn't a standard build of Altergeist, it was what I like to call the sad deck. So it was Spellbook, Altergeist, Demise, which it was Altergeist, it utilized the Spellbook engine and the card of Demise. It didn't play any hand traps, it didn't play Conquari, and it just used a very minimal Altergeist engine with a whole bunch of trap cards, and the idea of the deck was to stun my opponent and draw as much as possible. And I felt like that build gave the deck a lot more draw power and recovery and a little bit more consistency than the standard Altergeist build. I really love that build. Unfortunately, Demise was hit to 1 on the ban list. For this event, I decided to go with more of a standard build of Altergeist. So starting it off, we have 3 copies of Marionetter. Pretty standard, not a whole lot to say about there. Get your traps from deck, swaps Altergeist cards from grave, so Marionetter is great. We follow that up with 3 copies of Meliseek. Meliseek is broken. Like, Meliseek is really broken. Like, just the ability to just send 1 card, not destroy, just attack, send, and just like, you can't respond to it unless it's effect negation, because its effect activates in a damage step. Like, Meliseek is just broken, guys. Like, we follow that by 2 Silk, which I have a love-hate relationship with this card. Obviously, when it does its job and does it well, it's a great card. Like, so many games during this tournament, I actually opened double Silk, and I was just like, what the fuck? Silk was just glued to my hand to the point where it was kind of frustrating. If you have like a way to get the Faker or something along those lines, opening Silk isn't that bad. You can always just spoof it back to get the Faker, but when you have none of those options and you just have Silk, it could be tough and very annoying. But Silk is Silk. We play the 1 Conquari and the 1 multi-faker. If you watch my older Altergeist deck profile, you know that I didn't play Conquari in my Spellbook Demise build. With that build relied mostly 100% on the traps. There was no hand traps in that build. You wanted to optimize on demise, so playing Concord just felt like very unnecessary to me. So I would supplement its ability to block attacks with like just really good trap cards to either stop attacks or just to bottleneck my opponent to the point where they don't even get to like a full like barrage of attacks or anything like that. But in a more standard Altergeist build, you need Concord, like 100%. Like this card saved me like so much against like Mech Knights. It saved me against just some games that it saved me against Cyber Dragons. It saved me like just some games that if my opponent had just went straight aggro, I probably would have been way behind and may have lost those matches. So Concord is great. Faker obviously is great. Bring it back to 2, Konami. I played 3 Ash Blossoms. Not much to say there. It's Ash. I played 2 DD Crow, and Crow is one of the cards, one of the changes that I'm thinking about making to this deck. Well, I really was afraid of Spiral, so I really just wanted to play the DD Crow to try to hit the master plan, but I really just want to play less monsters in this deck, so I think I might side deck them. So that's one of the changes I would make to this deck going forward. We play, for the spells, 3 Extravagance. I know there were some people that are looking to me to see like what they could play instead of Extravagance, and truth be told, nothing. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can still play the spellbook engine, you can play the one demise, but it's great. Like, it has the price tag for a reason. Now, in the prior build that I was playing, I didn't play Extravagance because the idea of that build was to activate multiple draw spells in one turn and just to keep going. You can't do that with Extravagance. I think that build honestly was a little bit better because it had that explosiveness. So this build is actually a little bit slower in my opinion, and I'm not too fond of it. I have to find a way to kind of break it. But yeah, I mean, right now, Extravagance is Extravagance. I'm sorry if you can't afford it. I'd say definitely play Duality, you can play the spellbook engine. And one person tried to clown me because he was just like, if you had Extravagance the whole time, why didn't you just play it? And I was just like, because I thought the demise build was better. Like, I had Extravagance the whole time. Like, I've had it since it came out. I just liked the demise build better. I thought it was a much stronger version of Altergeist. So 3 Extravagances, 2 Duality. I hate Duality in Altergeist. I hate it so much. I think it's terrible. Duality just doesn't help. Like, it was better in my previous build because I could normal the Melseek, Duality, get whatever card I wanted, and then send the Melseek away with the spellbook engine and still get the multi-faker. But obviously I can't do that in this build, so I don't love Duality. I've toyed around with cutting it to 1. For the Altergeist traps, moving on to traps, we play 2 Protocol, 1 Manifestation, and 2 personal spoofing, which I know the 2 personal spoofing is a little bit strange, but hear me out, because for the longest I've been playing this deck, one of the issues I've always had with spoofing is that at times it felt like a brick. So opening multiple spoofings just never seemed like good to me, and the times that I did, it never was. Like, you really just need to see the 1 spoofing, have that resolved, and you're good to go. So I really hated seeing multiples because I'd wish the other one was just any other card in that moment. Since this build is a lot more slower, I think it definitely needs 3. So that's one of the changes I'm going to do, is up it to 3. But yeah, in the tournament when it resolved, it was great. You know, it's great. Manifestation at 1 was enough. I didn't really find myself missing a second copy, and Protocol is Protocol. It's busted. It should get hit. The only change I would make is spoofing. Next we follow that up with 3 evenly matches. To be honest, evenly match didn't do a whole lot during this event. There was one time it did turn the game around for me. I think it was in the, it was an Altergeist mirror match where I guess he didn't expect it and got a little cocky because I was falling behind because I couldn't get the engine going. And then at the end of his battle phase, I was just like, evenly matched, cleared this whole board, and next turn I was able to get going and take the game. So it's great. I think another change I'm gonna make is to cut it to 2, because it does, for me, it was clogging at a point where it was like a dead draw for me. So I was just like, maybe I don't really need to see all 3. I might cut it to 2. Actually, no, I will cut it to 2. Follow that up, we played 3 Impermanences. Yeah, 3 Impermanence, standard. We played 3 Judgment, which puts in overwork. Like, I don't need to say anything about this. It's the no card. 3 Judgment. I played 3 Strikes. Again, another no card. It was great. Play it at 3. You won't regret it. And here's something a little different. I played 2 Warning. So I was going back and forth between playing Warning and Crackdown. In theory, like, I know like a lot of Altergeist players, they're just like, they don't want to deal with the life point cost. But my theory was that if I go first, I want to open up as much no as possible. You know what I mean? So between the 2 warnings, the 3 strikes, and the 3 judgments, I was bound, if I was going first, I was bound to open one of these. So you flip a warning at the right time, it can end your opponent's turn, especially if they get cocky and think you don't have anything. Same thing with strike on one of their effects or one of their extra deck summons or whatever. And judgment, again, like I said, it's just the no to everything card. The life point thing, honestly, it only screwed me over like one time because he was able to recover, and I was just like, all right, I can't do this because I don't have a way to like block multiple attacks, and if he swings in, that's game. Let's just go to the next game. But other than that, like, Warning overperformed. Life point thing didn't matter all that much to me. I just really wanted to see one of those solemn cards every single turn. And the final card, the Honorary Old Man, Imperial Order. Let me tell you about Imperial Order. Imperial Order overperformed, my guys. Like, overperformed. Like, to the point where I had some players salty. So round 4 against a Madolche player, I don't know what he's playing. He makes me go first because he wins the die roll, and I'm just like, this could be anything. Could be Cyber Dragon, could be Mech Knights, I don't know what. So I set up, he starts to make his plays. It's grindy back and forth for a bit, but then eventually I get to a point where I lock him out with Imperial Order, and he just can't get through it, and I start to snowball, and we go to game 2. Long story short, he takes that game. We go to game 3, and I choose to go first. I summon Inspector Border on him because I knew Inspector Border could lock out all of his Madolche plays. So I'm just like, I summon Border, set 3, pass. His first play, he goes Book of Moon. He tries to book the Border. I flip Imperial Order, lets it resolve, and then for a couple of turns, I'm poking with Border, and I start summoning Altergeist monsters. And he sets 1 card on 1 turn, and then activates Heavy Storm Duster. And then I flip up another one of my back row, which turns out to be Dark Bride, which you'll see in my side deck. That card is so good. I don't care what nobody says. And it's just like, yeah, he was very salty. Like, I ended up taking it. But yeah. And I think the game after that, I played against Crusadia OTK, and game 1 I had Imperial Order. I flipped it up on his Pot of Desires, and he was just locked out. He couldn't do anything. And then he made me go first again game 2, and I had it again. It was just like, yeah, I'm sorry, bro, that's the meme. But yeah, Imperial Order overperformed. So 40 cards in the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck that I played for this event that I won my invite to Nats from. We play 3 Link Karibo, pretty standard, nothing to say there. 3 because of Pot of Extravagance, 3 Hextia for the Altergeist links. It's really the only one you're gonna summon. It's busted. We play 1 Kidolga, just to be a body for Extravagance. I don't really have much of a reason to summon it. And Prime Banshee. We play 2 Armirages for the Silk play. We play the Nightmare package, so Phoenix, Cerberus, and Unicorn. Never summoned any one of these, never had a need to, ever. We played 1 Borosaur Dragon, again, never summoned it, but it's there in case I need it. And here's something spicy. We played 1 Akashic Magician, and Akashic Magician was there for one reason. It's there to out the Blackluster Link, because that card is so freaking hard to deal with if they summon it against you, which if their deck is capable of doing it, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna do it against you because it's so difficult to out that card. And if I don't have the resources to deal with it, like if I can't make a Hextia to punch over it, one of the things I discovered is to make Akashic Magician. So if I can get 2 bodies on board, 2 Altergeist bodies on board, I can summon Akashic Magician to the zone that Blackluster has that points to me. I can summon Akashic to that zone, activate Akashic's effect, and its effect is non-targeting and non-destructive. So activate Akashic's effect and just bounce the Blackluster Link back to the extra deck. So it's a very low resource way to just out that thing, so you could at least get a chance at playing the game. 15 cards in the extra deck, not much to say there. Let's move on to the side deck, and then I'll talk matchups. We played 3 Inspector Border, and it's great against the Mirror. It's great against any just like monster-centric rogue strategies. It's great against Spiral too, because they have a hard time trying to out it. So they have to commit. They either can't deal with it at all, or they have to jump through a ton of hoops to try to out this thing. Played 3 Drolls. Again, just for Spiral. I was really concerned about that deck. Honestly, I'll probably cut Droll to 2, because you'll see in a minute, there's a bunch of ways for me to out to try and deal with Spiral, and I just felt like Droll wasn't 100% necessary at 3 copies. 2 sphere modes again for Spiral. We played 2 Gamma Seals, and if you've seen my IRL video against Orcus, you know that Gamma Seal is like my signature card. I love Gamma Seal so much. It's just perfect to deal with decks that make like these 1 monsters that they don't have enough on board for you to spear mode them, but they're always going to put up 1 monster that is just problematic for your deck to deal with. It could be like I mentioned before, the Black Luster Link. It could be Borlo Dragon. I've had that done to me before, not in this tournament, and it's actually really like I actually side spear mode and the Kaiju in against Spiral, because this didn't happen in the tournament, but during testing at locals, game 3 against a Spiral player, he made full combo. I didn't have a hand trap to stop him. He made full combo, pass. It goes to my turn, and first thing I do is I Kaiju the Apollo but the sleeper, so it turns the sleeper off. And right after that, I normal the Meliseek, go straight to battle phase, so he has to use the sleeper, otherwise he's gonna lose it, because I'm just gonna pop it with Meliseek. So I bait him into using Sleeper's effect. He pops the Meliseek. I get the search, and then right after end of battle phase, and I drop evenly matched. It just clears whole board. 3 heavy Storm Dusters. Not much to say there. It's for the mirror match or any other back row decks I come across. And the card that people weren't expecting, Dark Bribe. So let me tell you about Dark Bribe. I cited it because I felt like I needed more outs to things like Lightning Storm or any of the stuff that people would side against Altergeist. I was gonna initially play Anti-Spell Fragrance, but I felt like I didn't want to lose to a Chain Twister to the Anti-Spell Fragrance. So I wanted a card that had a little more utility. It could cover more ground. So I could hit the Lightning Storm, I could hit a Twin Twister, I could hit it evenly matched. Yeah, instead of just relying on Judgment. So pretty much I was looking for 4 and 5 copies of Judgment. And to me, that's what Dark Bribe did. And honestly, and this happens, like I'm not gonna lie to you, it absolutely does happen. There are times where your opponent will draw something nuts off the Dark Bribe draw, but it happens far and few in between. I guarantee you that whatever card they draw for Dark Bribe, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be as bad as the card they tried to blow you out with. And it's happened. I've used Dark Bribe to stop someone from outing my Imperial Order or my Inspector Border, or I've used it to stop a heavy Storm Duster that really would have set me behind. So I think Dark Bribe is really good right now. I can understand if you don't want to play it. I understand your concerns against it, but it worked out great for me in this tournament. It was between this and Starlight Road because I was afraid and conscious of Lightning Storm, but I didn't like Starlight Road because in testing after siding it in, there were a couple of instances where Starlight Road would just sit there and couldn't protect me from something like an evenly matched, which sucks. So I just wanted something with a little more utility where I felt like it'll be live a little bit more. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck profile that I played at this regional. Geist Gang, boys. Geist Gang, like, we here. Okay, so let's talk matchups. Round 1, I played against Spiral. Game 1, I went first, but I didn't open very strongly, so he was able to just steamroll over me. Game 2, I opened up way stronger, and he just couldn't play through it. Game 3, he managed to get some damage in with Pancratops, and I misplayed with an Impermanence. And yeah, I didn't manage my resources. I didn't manage my resources that well in that game, so he got in some damage in time, and I just couldn't close the gap. So I lost my round 1. Then round 2, I faced against Cyber Dragons. I 2-0'd it. Round 3, I faced against that new Cyberus archetype, Agnister, whatever you call it. That deck is really cool. There's a whole lot of special summoning. It definitely has the potential to OTK. I mean, game 1, I didn't open very strong, and he just pushed through and just gamed me. Game 2, I opened up much stronger, was able to, he couldn't push through. We went to game 3, same thing, I opened up very strong, and it's just like, he tried to grind it out, but at the end, I just took it. Round 4 was the Madoche matchup I mentioned earlier in this video, and then the Crusadia matchup I also mentioned earlier in this video was round 5, And then round 6 was Altergeist. It was a mirror match. And game 3, we went into time, but I managed to get in damage with Melseek and Silk and Faker, and it's just like he couldn't close the gap, so that was it. Round 7, I faced against Mech Knight Shadal. I got too old by it. That deck is really good, surprisingly. Round 8 was against Lunalight Time Thief, and that was a 2-1. And then the final match was a draw in the final round against Mech Knights. Mech Knight Invoked. At the end of the day, like, I'm super happy about all this, and yeah, I can't wait to go to Nats, bro, and actually be a player. Like, I'm kind of proud of myself, and you know, like I said, like I was away from this game for 15 years, and I've been playing for the past year and a half. I started taking it seriously a little less than a year ago, and really like trying to play and be competitive after like starting to get my footing and learning the game and everything, and learning how like all the tournaments and stuff work. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't liked and subscribed, make sure you stay tuned to our channel. We got lots of awesome content and stories coming up, and we'd really love to have you guys part of this community of players that we're building. Big up to everybody in the Bemani Lounge community, and everybody who isn't part of it. I hope you'll consider being part of it. And yeah, that's it for me. All right, catch you guys in the next one. And as always, make sure you enjoy your time in the lounge.